I'm back. That was fast. All right, I just did that commentary about Brittany Griner, and I wanted to finish up the part three of my introduction to the Colombo crime family. Come on and hang out with me, folks, and have a beverage. And like I said, keep saying I appreciate your support. Um, I know you like the stories and everything, and I hope everybody's having a great day and have a great weekend. TGIF, right? So, everything that went down with Mike and Sam retired in the falls. Robert K was missing, and Tony, the other boss, I was seeing him afterwards, and we got on friendly terms. You know, Mike S had to pay up. He had to pay up for his shenanigans, and he was in cahoots with Robert K. And Tony M was out of all that money, 250 large, and Sam was retiring, and yeah, Mike Francis was in New York and doing what he does and everything else, part of the Colombo family. And during that time, everything that was going on, Steph, the FBI agent, and everything. Like I said, it was just when you put the pieces together in retrospect afterwards, and of course it's been decades, and then it's just like, Sam, the boss, knew more than I probably thought he knew at the time, because there was no problem when he was made aware that I was seeing the FBI agent in a certain capacity, and it was just nonchalant. And you don't realize how many people are actually in dealings with the FBI, and that's that. And you see all these gangster channels and everything else. They're all in bed with the FBI. They were all in bed with the FBI. So when you watch all these channels all around and everything else, if they got a YouTube channel and they're speaking and they're free right now, obviously they were in some capacity. No kidding. Okay. So, and I was talking about when they have loved ones in prison, and the peripheral collateral damage that happens when it's just not a movie, it's real people. It's just not characters on a Hollywood production. It's real life and emotions. And I stressed the emotionality in the other video. Emotionality. It's just not robotic characters going around. No, there's emotions and thinking, and what do I do next? What if this happens? What about this? So there's a lot more than meets the eye to Joe YouTube viewer that's watching everybody, especially those major channels. And, it's entertainment, yes. And who cares who's right or wrong? Just tell a good story, that's all. And so I went through all that, and, the crew was missing from Niagara Falls. And afterwards, I was being approached. Maybe I mentioned it. I'm overlapping the videos a little bit. Forgive me. But I was being approached by family members saying, do you know where's a loved one? What happened to my brother? Where's I don't know anything. I'm a little bullshit errand boy. I don't know that. I'm not privileged to this type of information. I don't know. I mean, they're involved in a mafia crime family, and if they're missing, I don't know where the hell they are. I don't know. They were all bad actors, and I mean, geez, they were bad actors. Just they were missing. I don't know. I don't know. Start guessing. I don't know where they are. I'm not. Nobody's gonna come up to me and say, "Hey, Jojo, come here. Hey, Rick and Bob and Tone. Yeah, we did this. We did that." No, no. What are they gonna tell me for? They had me running half nuts as it was, anyways. And I had to get all that shit straightened out. Half of them didn't like me, and so, and I seen they're crying. Please, Joe, if you know, tell. I don't know, honey. I don't know. I'm not a made man. I'm not powerful. I'm a mild guy. I don't know. And then some other cousin, some Bruno, hey, come here. Yeah, listen. Hey, you know what? You guys better slow down. You guys better all slow down. Because now they're being disrespectful to me, thinking that if they intimidate me and rough me up, I'm going to let them know where their loved one is. And at the end of the day, I don't know where they are. So it was getting a little crazy, following me around, coming into the track, coming into the off-track bed, and trying to intimidate me until I finally had to say, listen, I know the people in New York, and you know who my godfather is. You better slow down. You better slow down. I don't have power to make a call a hit or anything. But if I tell somebody, my godfather in Brooklyn, that you guys are intimidating me and half roughing me up, someone's going to get their head caved in with a baseball bat. So just lay off. Cut damages. Leave me alone. I don't know nothing. I don't want no trouble. So it was getting hairy-carry there for a while. And, these tough guys, well, yeah, I'll get that JoJo, and he'll tell me where Tony is or whatever. It's like, no, you got to stop that. That was going on, and it was making me nuts. And there was nothing I could tell them. And in a follow-up to that, I had told a guy in Brooklyn, ashes all over the place. And just to add on to that, I told a guy in Brooklyn, another friend of my godfather's, what they were doing to me. And they made a call up there. And then it all stopped. Yeah, it stopped. I don't know the exact verbiage that was used, but it was like, you guys are running around intimidating JoJo. It ends today. And then thereafter, and later on timeline, they were, some other disconnected guys were being real nice. Being real nice. Like, yeah, it's a chess game, push and shove. And then when you go too far, and then it's checkmate, and then it's just like, oh, yeah, well, now mitigate, and backpedal. So that was getting crazy afterwards. And I had a couple guys a couple different times grab me just like this. I mean, they weren't even connected to the fact they were a cousin of a made guy, but they were all mafia wannabes, and they were all trying to act like Guidos. And, I said, I'm going to tell you, you better let go right now. But I'll make one phone call, and that'll be your ass. You better let go. 5, 4, 3. Oh, okay. Leave me alone. Because them guys will come up. They don't play. It's a cat and mouse chess game, and emotions are running crazy. People are wondering where their loved ones are, and there's nobody around but little old me that they're trying to get information out of. No. I would just guess they're dead. They were a rogue crew of bad actors that Sam was retiring. He wanted out. They were bringing a new regime in, and who knows how many of them were dealing with the FBI. Bye. I don't know. So that's the summation of part one, part two. And a couple years ago, and a year ago, I seen a couple of these guys at the track, live racing, horse racing, and at the off-track betting. I seen a couple guys that were brothers and everything, and they were friendly. They were friendly. There was a couple bad ones. There was a couple bad aftermath stuff that because what do I look the same after all them years? What do I look the same? Jeez. I must age well. So that's fine. It was just a crazy time, and then it all settled down. It just boom, it's all done, it's all over with, and that's that. So yeah. Robert K, who knows? Tony M, Morale, God bless you, buddy. We had to cut ties, but we ended on good terms. Mike S, R.I.P. Sam, R.I.P. And God bless their souls. Robert K could rot in hell. Forgive me, but God bless the dead. That's what happens in the mafia world. I mean, you sign up for a life that you know is treacherous, and the pros and cons of it. And I hate to say, but while you're living high off the hog and have a real high standard of living and everything is going good, you never thought about the risk that, you can lose a loved one. And that's that. Don't come running to me. What happened? Where's so-and-so? And everything else. I mean, so thank you folks for your support. And we're going to keep pumping these out and do my best to do some good shows for you. And I appreciate we're rising up 300 subscribers, and we're just gonna rock and roll and keep forging ahead. It's holiday season. Depression is running high. Addiction's running high. Try to manage if you're going through stuff. Don't run to chemicals and drugs. Find some other divine power that you can connect with. What's up? Hey, Mario. He did work for Gambino. He never told me anything, but I imagine old timers years later. My godfather was reserved and soft-spoken, and he would say certain things, but he was, see, if you're with a family, Mario, and he didn't want to be made into that family. He didn't have to go through all that bullshit. And they more or less want you to have allegiance to them. That's your team. That's your team. Because that say the Colombo is in a little conflict with Genovese. Well, they don't want my godfather doing some work, because that's the opposition, that's the competition, that might be the enemy. But my godfather would be like, I'll do whatever I want, and if I could go make a couple dollars here, but it wouldn't be something on the Colombo family. If he did work outside the Colombo family, it wouldn't be anything on the Colombo family. He wasn't made into that family, but that was his home team. That's the home team. But you know, the Gambino, you know, Colombo and Gambino, they rock and rolled, and they tore each other up at times. He more or less had his home team, the Colombo family. That was Mike Francis, and whoever they wanted to call the captains and bosses and all that bullshit. Don't believe everything Mike Francis tells you. I mean, God bless the guy, but no. But yeah, that's a good question, Mario. And you know, you have your home team, and if there's some easy money, a lot of this stuff, Mario and other viewers that come in, is money and rackets. Rackets, money. It's all money. And then drugs is another just story. That's another video. But a lot of the people didn't pay. All these they're gamblers. They're gamblers, and they're running bookmaking operations. And the gamblers aren't paying. They're not paying. They are not paying the bookie. And a lot of my godfather's work was people that, well, you know, and there was a lot of shylarking, loan sharking, you know, and people are getting loans and they're not paying it back. Well, first they lose the money gambling, and then they get loans and they blow them loans, and they can't pay it back. They're degenerate gamblers. And then my godfather gets summons and to come in and you know, try to get these people to pay in whatever fashion. He told me a lot of stories pertaining to that. You know, like, oh, you're gonna go F somebody up, or you know, oh, everybody says, oh, they baseball bat. You know, like, it's all like stereotype stuff on how you shake somebody down, scare somebody, rough them up to get them to pay the money they owe. Because you got all these associates, 5 crime families, all the associates made men during their 20s and 30s and 40s. You know, there's young guys in there. They like partying and they like gambling. They're blowing their check every week, and then they're borrowing money from the boss or other sources, and they're going deeper and deeper. So when you're watching these gangster channels and you hear about these made men and the soldiers and all that, there's thousands of them running around. They want action. And then some of them did drugs, and it was just gambling. Drug addiction was running wild. Gambling addictions running wild. And my godfather would have to straighten a lot of stuff out. But if there was something right within the Colombo family that had to be an in-house thing, then he could go to whatever. If Mike Francis was the captain or something, and Sam in Niagara Falls, well, if my godfather had to put his 2 cents in, which he did, if you watch the other videos, then they better take heed, because they know who he is. And he don't have to repeat himself. He does not have to repeat himself. This is what's going to happen, and it better happen, and that's that. He don't have to say, well, if that what's going to happen. He don't have to say that. He was soft-spoken, man of few words, but he was highly respected. So you had all these degenerates running around, made men in crime families that couldn't tie their own freaking shoes. There were some sharp guys. There was sharp guys. But there was just other guys that, they didn't have the thinking right, and they just blew all their money. Maybe they did drugs, and they were borrowing money left and right. And you got to pay. You owe 10,000. Well, you're only making 1,000 a week. So then what they would try to do is when they're running a racket, they're not going to turn the money up to the boss because all the soldiers are out running rackets. You got to turn that money up to the boss. So that's another story where, it's like, well, geez, I owe 7,000. Well, I just ran this racket and made 10 or 5,000. I won't tell the boss. I'll just pay my marker and we'll just keep this. I want to pay my debt off and I won't tell them about this hustle I made this money off of. There were guys that owed other bookies 100,000, 110,000. How are you going to catch up on 1,000 a week pay? In the meantime, you're thinking, I owe all this money to the boss or whoever, and I'm running a hustle here that's making 10,000 a week. And that's why a lot of them dealt drugs too, which was supposed to be taboo, but it wasn't taboo. It was in the families. So that's that. I wanted to do a summation of my introduction to the Colombo family and tie the loose ends up. And I seen them people later on. Sam retired, God bless him, and then everything went smooth sailing for me. I was like, enough's enough. And my life would have been different if I moved to New York and started working for the Colombos there. And I don't know. I'm not a tough guy, but sometimes my mouth gets crazy. I probably would have said the wrong thing to the wrong guy. And, my godfather, you can't get saved. I mean, it don't matter. He's my godfather, but that doesn't mean I can't get hit. That don't mean you can't get hit. Somebody will just come up and sneak you. That's it. So they made me a good offer to go down there. I was highly recommended. The new regime they knew I was a good person, a smart thinker, and but I didn't take them up on it because I probably would have been dead. I wouldn't have lasted. It's just too much craziness. It's not the right world. It's nothing. It's just not the right world. It's no good. It's tragedy and heartbreak and stress and paranoia and self-preservation. And what do you got to do? Sleep with a gun on your chest? I mean, if you want to be involved in all that, you got to sleep with a gun on your chest or carry a gun with you. I don't want to do that. So that's that. Thank you, Mario, for coming in here, man. Have a good weekend. And I'll check back with you guys tomorrow and we'll put something else up here. And I appreciate everybody's support. And stay strong, folks. And we'll rise up. And I'll have some good stuff. I hope you enjoy it. I appreciate everybody that comes in here. So that's that. God bless you all. And you have a great day. Have a great weekend. And rise up. Stay strong. The holidays can be depressing. All right. So go to creation for your strength, not drugs and chemicals, okay? Depression is running crazy. Addiction's running crazy. So that's that. All right. Okay, good afternoon, Victor. Thank you guys for these great guys, Victor and Mario. What good names. These guys got great names. So stay great and be the kings, all right, you guys, which you already are. We're the creation royalty, so let's take it in, We'll rise up. I appreciate you guys. You're the great ones, my dear friends. So there's another story that's connected to part 1, part 2, part 3 of my introduction to the Colombo family. And it's another FBI type of thing that came to my mind while I was doing all this. So we're going to rock and roll and throw some more stuff in. I got to do freaking mob stories. So after that, it'll be how to bake a cake. All right. All right, folks. Stay great. Have a good day. I'll check back with you soon. God bless. Thank you, Victor.